Guys, what's going on? Scott here with FTG. Welcome to another round of Hit Me on the Burner. And we had someone that hit us on the burner. If you want to hit us on the burner, call this number, 561-250-3033. I'll say it again, 561-250-3033. If you want to get interactive, submit a question, you call the number, you'll hit a voicemail. Leave a question, comment, something you want talked about, or you want to debate a point or whatever, man. We would love to have you, and we'll make a clip about it. And we'll eventually start rolling out some type of giveaway. I don't know. I was thinking about something like maybe views or shares and stuff like that. And if it does, I don't know, we'll figure out something, man. We'll send you some stuff. And yeah, all right. So we're going to get right into it. And yeah, we'll just keep cruising, man, you know? All right, here we go.
This is James from Charlotte, North Carolina. Basically, my question is, I'm coming up on 2 years sober, and all the fun and excitement is gone.
Damn. Just gone, dude. I hate when that happens, man.
Like, I have a good life. I'm enjoying life. You know, all that is good. But there's really no fun and excitement. And rather than some sort of remedy for me, I was wondering if you dealt with that and how you did. All right, thanks.
Yeah, well, there's some remedy. I'm like, I don't want that shit. No, that's great, man. I can definitely relate. So initially what's coming up for me right now is when there's no fun and excitement, I'm usually a tired, I'm usually just like a tired, melancholy asshole. And I've found in my life that it's not because I'm tired. It's that I'm not contributing. I'm not like, all right, this is a very interesting thing. Okay. So listen, there is a death process that I believe that we do face, especially coming up on 2 years, right? It's like, here's the thing. I don't know if you're part of like a 12-step program or anything like that. I'm going to assume that you are. So initially when we put the drugs down, we put the alcohol down, and it's like, boom, like here we are, we're raw, we're open, we're figuring out how to do this and navigate emotions, and we're around love and support, and everyone's clapping, oh, fucking dude, yeah, 60 days, woo, you know, like patting on the back and all this stuff. The thing is, like, once you hit that year, no one gives a shit anymore, right? They stop clapping after every 30 days. And you got to wait a whole other year for the applause. And the kicker is, like, once you hit that year mark, we got to find a way to work that applause inside of us, because the fun and the excitement, listen, I'm not always waking up like, oh, isn't it a great day to be sober? Fucking yeah, man. Especially like at 2 years. It's just not like that. But I also know that I'm not going to be skipping around all the time in fun and excitement just in my day-to-day stuff. Like, there are peaks and valleys, as cliche as that is to say. So I heard a speaker one time say this, and I apologize if I'm not really making a lot of sense here, but I heard a recovery speaker say this one time. And he said that what we learn to do over time is marvel in the ordinary. Marvel in the ordinary. And I've always dug that, you know? Now, that's probably super annoying to hear, right? But dude, like, we have to put ourselves out there. I remember when I was like 2 years sober, and I was getting invited to try CrossFit and do all this stuff. And I'm like, I was always a hater of CrossFit. And I went to CrossFit Deerfield Beach for the first time. And I knew of people there, but it was no one was inviting me. I wasn't meeting anyone there. And I remember being like scared to death, like very insecure, like not knowing what you kind of walk into like this big garage gym and everyone's just, there. And I was terrified, but I knew that I needed something more, right? Like we can end up in day-to-day life drifting into isolation just by showing up and living life day to day. So to the fun and excitement thing, for me, I had to do some digging. I had to, like, dude, I didn't know what my fucking favorite color was when I got sober. Like, black, like, what's your favorite movie? Scarface, whatever, dude. Like, so I had to like get back involved with life. And in order to do that, there is like a death process. Like, dude, I loved the life. I was wild, I liked just everything that came with addiction and alcoholism. And there is beauty in leveling out. This is probably going to be really annoying to hear, but I worked at a place prior to my current job that I have right now. I worked at a treatment center, and there was like a big parking lot, and there was rows that you could park, and you could park all the way in back, and there was a sidewalk that cut the middle of all the parking lot and led you right into the front door. And they had palm trees perfectly scattered along each side of the sidewalk. And, around like fall time in South Florida, there's like a little bit of leaves, right? But by the time I'd be getting to work, the sun was just peeking up, like moving through the palms, especially if the wind was going, you're kicking around the leaves a little bit. And that was like that probably 45, 50-second walk. I would purposely park in the back row just to have that walk in the morning with my coffee and just cruise in and kicking up leaves like little kid shit, And dude, from a guy who really tore things up and had to do some wild shit to feel any type of excitement in his life, to being stoked upon having a good cup of coffee and walking down the sidewalk for a 50-second banger on his way to like just be destroyed in the field of treatment by ungrateful addicts and alcoholics. That's a huge W, man. And we can kind of skim over like, yeah, my life's good, I got all this stuff back. And for me, like, we can get used to the amazement of God. We can get used to the amazement of waking up and being okay. So I think that we are the meaning. I think that we are the fun and we are the excitement. Sometimes you have to search fearlessly, but it's there. And you'll find your tribe, but you got to I had to put myself out there. And I still do. And when I drift into I'm not having fun, it's the same monotonous shit, and then I start dreading getting up and going to work, I know that I'm off the beam. And it's a me problem. It's not, life isn't entertaining me the way I think I should be entertained. I had this really asshole sponsor back in the day, Adam O. He's the man, but he taught me everything I knew, saved my ass. And I fucked up one time and I told him I was bored. And he goes, boredom is a completely selfish notion. What you're in essence saying to life in general is, I'm not being entertained the way that I would like to be entertained right now. So something should find me and entertain me. And I was like, dude, fuck you, man. Like, can't you just be bored, Which he was a very serious guy, and you surely can just be bored sometimes. But there's never nothing going on. There are no ordinary moments. There's always something to be a part of, At least that's how I view it. I filled my life with especially around year 2, I filled my life with actions and commitments and friends and fellowship and community, uh, working out and all that stuff, to where like I couldn't isolate if I tried. So many people knew where I lived, and that's not me. Like, I don't want people knowing, like, I'm a real sketchy dude still sometimes, right? But I had just filled my life up by saying yes to whatever was knocking on my door, that I couldn't hide. I couldn't wiggle away to even isolate. So I'll end by saying this, man. When you're 2 years sober, and when I was 2 years sober, my day looked like this, right? Get up, pray, make some breakfast, run out the door, go to work at work, leave work on time, uh, and go home, eat some dinner, go to a meeting, or hit the gym first, go to a meeting, go home, do the dishes, and watch The Office for the 70th time for a little bit before I get a good night's sleep. Dude, that is like magic. That is the applause for yourself. It's like, but for a guy like me to just, I don't want that. I don't want to be like, oh, I fucking got up on time, went to work, worked at work, had a meeting, ate good food with some people after, worked out, and did my dishes. Like, this sucks. Someone pull out a knife on me or something. But dude, it's like, I don't know. That was my process. Yes, I have experience with that. Yes, 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 100%. Um, but it can be a catalyst to me, like stepping out and being like, all right, dude, like there are no ordinary moments. There is as much fun and excitement there is to have. What am I doing to lasso it and pull it into my life? So, um, James, I appreciate you sending the question. And man, I love North Carolina. I'm not sure, I can't remember if you said like what city or anything. That's my bad. But, you know, fucking A, dude, I would be outside all the time, hiking, whatever, man. I'm an active guy. I think that if you're not exercising and you're not moving, you are, you're doing yourself a huge disservice. If I could make one requirement for recovery or sobriety, it would be exercise. Just move. Movement is life. So, anyways, that's all I got. James, I appreciate sending the question in. I hope that helped, man. And if you guys want to submit a question or leave a voicemail, just call the burner. Hit the number 561-250-3033. Call and leave us a voicemail. We'll play it while we're recording, respond to it, and do a little clip like we did here for Mr. James. So thanks, guys, for listening. Hit the burner. Peace.